Another breakdown in procedure at the CDC. A mistake may have exposed a lab worker to Ebola. The technician is waiting for test results this morning and will be monitored for 21 days. It's the latest in a string of errors at the agency. Juliana Goldman is in Washington as the investigation begins into what went wrong. Juliana, good morning.
Good morning. Well, the materials that potentially contain live Ebola were destroyed before officials even discovered the problem on Tuesday. The CDC never got to test the actual specimen, and we may never know how big of a mishap this actually was. The CDC is conducting a review of the latest mistake, in which live Ebola virus may have been sent from a high-security lab to another down the hall, one not equipped to work with the deadly pathogen. The technician who handled the sample was not adequately protected. CDC Director Tom Frieden is promising a full review of the incident, the latest in a string of pledges to upgrade safety. And CBS News chief medical correspondent Dr. John LaPook said this latest incident raises more concerns about agency standards.
There's always going to be human error no matter what you do. So the trick is that when human error does occur, can you have a set of procedures, redundancy, so that that human error is caught by some fail-safe mechanism and doesn't lead to disaster?
In his statement, Frieden said he was troubled by this incident and no risk to staff is acceptable.
For this to happen and put our workers potentially at risk is totally unacceptable.
That was Frieden in July, after it had been revealed the CDC accidentally contaminated flu samples with the deadly bird flu virus. And in June, the agency admitted that lab workers may have been exposed to live anthrax after it wasn't properly deactivated. Those samples had even been transferred between labs in Ziploc bags, a breach of protocol. The mishaps prompted congressional hearings, during which Frieden promised, quote, sweeping measures to change the lax safety culture. The CDC put together a panel of outside safety experts and even temporarily shut down some labs.
Whenever you're dealing with a deadly organism, like anthrax, bird flu, Ebola, you have the potential, if there's a mishap, for it to become a real public menace. So far, we've been lucky. But how many times can you roll the dice?
If there is a silver lining here, experts say that in the past, the CDC hasn't always been forthcoming in admitting safety problems. But Vanita, in this case, they disclosed the mistake immediately.